if you look at the figures, it looks so much different from what was submitted to the National Assembly and what is being signed into law. There's a big word of difference between that 7.44 and what you will see that was signed into law is 7.44, but what was presented was 7.29. Another one will be curious to know that why did it take over 20 days for the acting president to sign into law? We did understand that over 400 major projects were inserted into the budget from the National Assembly point of view. Have this executive and the legislature been able to ratify this issue, and some of those missing projects from the executive being replaced right now?
You know, the budget had been passed, and the leadership cannot, on their own, unless the budget is returned to the floor, they cannot insert the project, because the budget has been passed and the gavel is gone. Therefore, they cannot touch it unless it is returned. And it was considered that unwise to return the budget because the differences were such as could be discussed. And it was discussed. And it was on the basis of the principle of that it is not the legislature versus the executive, or the executive versus the legislature. It was the legislature and the executive together for the people of Nigeria. So it was considered that it wasn't appropriate to, on account of this, return the budget or withhold assent. Therefore, what the differences I had already explained were being discussed, and there was some understanding that there will be requests for environment will soon be presented and to the National Assembly by the executive, and it will be attended to. These were discussed, and some understanding reached, and the leadership of the National Assembly had carried the membership along. So
if I may quickly ask you this,
on the part of
Senator Annan,
increase in the size of the budget, I do not think so. And I know that the legislature has not unreasonably increased the budget, because they had the parameters of the budget on $42.5 per barrel price of oil. They had an exchange rate which they did not increase or decrease. They had the production quota of oil, and then there were some other sundry monies. And then when it was increased from $42.5 to $44.5 per barrel, part of the money that was realized from there was used in debt. One, debt servicing. The other one was reducing the deficit, and the other part, the remaining of it, was used in servicing part of the expenditure which were not captured. You remember that at the submission of the budget was submitted on the 14th of December 2016. It was passed sometime about 13th, 14th, or 15th of May. Between that time of December and May 2017, there were some contracts which were awarded by the executive, but which there were no provisions in the, which were not sufficiently provided for. So this budget, to avoid the budget being trapped or being abandoned for non-provision of money in the budget, or contractors quitting site, there were discussion between executive and legislature, the power, works and housing, and several other areas. So these monies were applied in servicing those awarded projects.
Okay. Because of our time, if I may quickly butt in here, sorry, let me quickly ask you, did the acting president get a go-ahead from the president from London to sign the budget?
I didn't hear you.
Did the acting president, Professor Osinbajo, get a nod from the president, Muhammadu Buhari, in London to go ahead to sign the budget into law today?
When His Excellency, Mr. President, transmitted to the National Assembly that he was proceeding on vacation, powers of the president were vested in the acting president, including power to assent to bills. And this is not the first and only bill His Excellency the acting president has assented to. But I want to assure you and assure all Nigerians that His Excellency the acting president has been in constant consultation and relationship with His Excellency Mr. President in the affairs of state as is normal.
Okay, because
and traditional in the relationship between both of them.
One of the issues raised today, as we understand, is that the 2018 budget will be worked upon as quickly as possible. There is an unfortunate and embarrassing delay on the budgets in recent past. How soon will the 2018 budget be worked upon, and when will it be perhaps laid before the National Assembly?
Let me say that the preparation for the 2017 budget, 2018 budget, will start on June 13th. Today is June 12th. It will start on June 13th, tomorrow. That is preparation for the next budget. And it is estimated that it will be laid before the National Assembly by October.
All right.
His Excellency the acting president had in his address stated that they are committed to this, and in the meetings with the executive we had with the legislature, there was this understanding that we will take every step to make sure that we return the country to a January-December budget cycle,
right,
financial year.
I'm afraid we must leave it at that. Senator Itayan, Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly matters. Many thanks for your thoughts there. We take a break, and when we return, we switch our attention to the issues of restructuring as clamored for today as Nigerians mark June 12. Stay with us.